welcome back to the Stanley Parable, where we're going to be doing
All of
some
his
stuff,
co-workers had gone. What could it mean? Stanley
hopefully.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Hmm.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Well, trying to do some different stuff, of course, as always. So let's see, what happens if we go this way?
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Let's go on the door on the left then. Because I think I'm going to do this until I come to the first. Like, you can't.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Hoping he coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs
Do
to
this.
his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again
I think the
stunned
code
to
is
discover not an indication of any human life.
582
Shocked,
8
unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who
4
orchestrated this.
2
What dark
5
secret
8
was being held from him? What he could not have known
4
was that the
5
keypad
2
behind the boss's
8.
desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss
Can't
had been
remember it
keeping
all.
from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845.
2845. Okay, so I had the right numbers at least.
Possibly have known that, yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing.
So I'm still gonna go against what they say at the first possible opportunity. So that should be fun. Loading. For this game has kind of big loading times, it seems like, usually compared to games. But this game is kind of old, I think. I can't remember when it was made actually, but it's a few years old, I think.
Into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Okay then. So I think the first
Stanley
option
walked straight
we...
ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Actually, I don't think I've ever done this.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Oh, well, that's not comforting.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Well then, to death. And another loading screen, luckily that's what I wanted. Any time now.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this is. Perhaps his death was a loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man.
That's kind of frightening.
Resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Here comes the pain.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Huh. Maybe not.
And And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Well, this is the behind the scenes of the game, like how they came through the development process. It's pretty cool, some of the objects from the game, obviously. But unfortunately, I will not be looking through all this, I don't think, because there's a ton of content here. I can always come back if I want, but as of the moment, I don't think I want to be here. So if I could find the exit, that would be great. But I don't know what that is at all. Oh, lovely back here. Should be an exit sign or something. Maybe this way? Taking another turn. Nothing there. Oh, that's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. Let's see. Oh, there it is. I missed it over here.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Oh, and that
Can you
was it.
see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now. It'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time...
Ew. That was a lovely snapping sound. It's a beautiful sound. Is the game gonna reset? Okay, I guess they want me to begin it again. Any time now.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply
I think
missed a
I'll
memo.
follow it to the wrong door again.
When Stanley came to a set of two open, this was not the correct way to the meeting
Sounds
room,
good.
and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Oh, that could be okay.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
We already did that path.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't...
This time I'm going to take the lift all the way across. I think.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley.
Hello? Hello? What?
Oh, Stanley, is that you? sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Oh.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife? They want to commit their life to you. I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here. This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley. Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But
Yeah, I can't push another key.
in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Spend time with the
He
boys.
went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
It's a very dirty floor.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it. You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time you'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button.
Excuse me?
And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I
That was a weird one. I say let's go that route again.
How wonderful. Stanley was alone. Finally. This is great, he thought to himself. This is what I've wanted all along. I got what I wanted.
Huh? That's not the same dialogue as before.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Nah.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Okay, sure.
Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No, I'm going this way
Stanley
still.
was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
No, this time I think I'm going
Stanley,
this way, and there's a
perhaps
way I
we've
didn't
gotten off
go.
on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you
Nope.
that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? What?
Yep.
I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Okay.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Now I'm in the pit of darkness. Okay.
What do we want? What are we looking for?
Hmm?
Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment.
Nah.
No, wait. Where are you going? Oh, no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this. Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. No! Oh. No. No, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this? Stanley, let's go back to the other room. My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly? Maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours. It's going to restart, isn't it?
Yep.
Going back.
It restarted again. Huh? This isn't right.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Weird.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Nah.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Weird how that was changed in the
lounge
beginning.
was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Now I think there's more story this way too.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
So I'll take this. Hopefully I haven't done this before. If I have, then I'll just end the video here and restart.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left. Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake.
1 second. I was wondering something too, by the way. Sorry. Close captioning. Okay. Sorry about that, not having that enabled before.
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way. No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Well, I'd like to thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye everybody, I hope you